Hello, everyone. Kimberly Olson here with our special guest, Allyson Mancini. Welcome on, Allyson.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Sorry, I was giggling as we went live.
Oh, I'm so excited as well. We're like two kids in a sandbox, just excited to be together and hang out. You guys get to be with us for our very first interview for our new podcast, CEO Optimize. And I said, I'm always sharing cool things I'm learning and researching with Allyson. And it just came to me, one of the things that I become really passionate about is just being aware of the food that we eat, the, chemicals we're using in our homes, even the clothing we're wearing. And she's always been my go-to for all things fashion. And we're going to talk more about that. So I asked her if I could interview her so we could talk about choosing less, but choosing better. That's really what the theme of what I want to really emphasize for people, but also this conversation, that it's not about having more as we're programmed. It's about having less, but what you do choose, making better decisions for you, for your environment, for the earth. And we're going to talk about confidence because we know, our ladies, and Allyson works with all of them, we know that confidence is something that we commonly see as a struggle. We're going to talk about conscious fashion, and I'm just going to shoot you straight on that one. And she's going to talk about options for you guys and the woman you're becoming. We're going to talk about identity. We're going to talk about all of this, how all of this goes together as well. So if you guys are just joining us, this is actually going to go on the podcast, which will be on Spotify. It'll be on Apple. It'll be on YouTube as well. We're also live streaming this on social media right now. So if you're joining us live, say hello in the comments. Be sure to follow Allyson if you're watching us outside of these platforms. So first off, we want to talk about choosing less and choosing better. Okay. And I'm going to have Allyson get into when we talk about conscious fashion and her background. So one of the things that I've been working on is slowing down, being less hurried. And I stumbled upon this book called Essentialism. And it's this whole concept that's gone viral where those that are really fulfilled, those that are content, those that do have more joy in their lives, they want more of what they already have. And I've noticed patterns where I'll see something and I'm like, oh, that's, like my iPad cover, because my children like to take it out in the garden and ask ChatGPT questions. My iPad cover is all dirty. I'm like, I need to go get a new iPad cover. And I'm learning to catch myself and be like, no, I don't need a new iPad cover. I just need to watch the one that I have. So with all this being said, it made me realize that we get to have a conversation around this. We get to educate each other. We get to hold each other accountable. And I wanted to ask Allyson about conscious fashion. I want to ask about her background because she's a cabbie stylist. You guys can see it on the screen there. And we'll talk about that. What does that mean for you to learn about how to incorporate conscious fashion into your own life, what it can look like for you, for your online business and brand, and how you're showing up on camera, on video, and all the things. But first, Allyson, why don't you share with everybody a little bit about your background? I know you went to school for this and you obviously have been a stylist on and off forever with Cabbie. Every time I see you in person, I'm like, where did you get that outfit? Your response every time is Cabbie. And you almost like roll your eyes at this point because it's the same response every time. So fill us in. Tell us a little bit about your background and how did you become so passionate about identity, confidence, and what women are wearing?
Okay. So my background, which some of the people on this know this, Kimberly and I actually went to the same very small business college in Northern Michigan. I'm quite a bit older, so she was not there when I was there. But so I went because I really wanted to get into the fashion industry. My dream was to move to New York City and be a buyer for who cares? I'm just some big designer. So I went to Northwood, got my undergrad in fashion marketing and management with a dual major of marketing management. So kind of like a dual marketing, but really focusing on fashion. And I really thought I was going to go into this big fashion world. Long story short, met my husband and got into the industry and was like, this industry is brutal. It is a lot of work and it's a lot of hours. And I'm like, that is not what I want for my life. And that's not what we wanted for our life as we were creating a life together. So I got out of the fashion industry, but still, like, you can ask my sister since I was a little kid. I was always the one like trying out the new trends, wanted everything new, all the fun stuff, right? So fast forward, back in 2016, 2017, I was introduced to this clothing line. I was invited to a friend's house to come shopped for clothes. And I was like, wait, what? I can go to somebody's house and shop for clothes? I'm like, I'm all in. So went over there and I watched this woman and I was like, this is amazing. I did not become a stylist right away. I needed to sit on it because, I'm kind of that. I got to wonder about things. And so then I jumped in very shortly thereafter, was a stylist for, I believe it was 3.5 years, something around that. Life happened. I ended up resigning at the time, but remained a loyal client to Cabby, was buying all the time. That's when Kimberly says every time she would see me, she'd be like, what are you wearing? I'm like, Cabby, because that's literally, they make it so easy. They make my life so easy. We can get into all of that, the quality and that conscious side of everything. So in between my being Cabby stylist, I've had and continue to have the pleasure to work with Kimberly as a COO at Gold Digger. And really everything I've seen over the last 6.5 years and watched with the women that we work with, it hit me recently that we really struggle with confidence as women in general. I find that kind of across the board. And what I also realized was, can clothes make you feel 100% confident? Not necessarily, but can they give you that like little edge and that level up where you walk into a room and you're not worried about what you look like because you're confident in what you have on. Confidence is something that grows over time. It grows because of you keeping your word, doing the things you say you're going to do, stepping out in fear when things maybe scare you. But can clothes help that a little bit? Absolutely. So that's kind of really where I'm at right now. And Kimberly and I've talked a lot about this lately and just really want to continue supporting women as I do here at Gold Digger. And also this other avenue of supporting women in how they show up, because it does make a difference. It makes a big difference if you're in sweatpants and a t-shirt versus you walk out in a cute pair of jeans and a cute little top. Let's be real. You feel differently. You act differently.
Oh, 1,000%. No, I love that. And it's something that you're so passionate about. You can tell, like, it's just who you are. So conscious fashion, there's another book, because, I'm always reading and learning. And I sent all of these books to you, Allyson. I was like, I gotta read this one. I gotta read this one.
I'm like, oh my gosh,
more. There's this book, The Ruthless Pursuit, I think, of Hurry, something like that.
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was talking about how back in like the 1970s, 1980s, the average family budget spent about 10% of their budget on fashion, clothing. And now today it's less than 4%. And the reason why is because of fast fashion. So what the heck is that? So I actually watched an entire documentary on this, and it's crazy.
Scary.
What's that one? You and I both watched.
I watched it years ago when I was in Cabby in my previous time, and it's a very eye-opening documentary and a little scary.
You guys can look it up. Ask chat, like, hey, what's a good documentary on fast fashion? The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. That's actually what got me off my phone, where I'm not sleeping with my phone, waking up, checking email. I'm not doing that anymore. So I would recommend it for everyone. And he talked about places like Shein, and I'm going to mention the brand because it's the most people know Shein typically, but think of when you go to Amazon, for example, you don't know where people are getting those clothing. He said less than, I want to say 2%, don't quote me, go read the book, but you can look it up. Less than 2% of people in the world are paid a fair living wage that are participating in producing clothing. So it's typically, it can be sex trafficking, it can be, children making clothing, like all that stuff that like sweatshops and the images we have from back in the day. No, that's today. Because ask yourself this question: if you buy something for, $10 on Amazon or Shein or wherever, how in the world are they able to make that piece of clothing, have the cost of the clothing, pay somebody, ship it to the other side of the world? It's bananas. So we've gotten so like disconnected from that because it's not going into the local boutique and buying from that person. So what I did is, because I've been on this quest to just overhaul everything in my life, one of the things I started thinking about is the amount of polyester, synthetic, plastics, that kind of thing in our clothing. So I started looking at where things were coming from with clothing and fair trade, and there's different ratings. So I actually started curating a list because one of my daughters was asking for a tank top for school, Elise, and she never asked for anything when it comes to clothing. It's a little scary. So I'm like, yes, let's get the child something. Just started doing research, and it was actually pretty difficult to find companies that fit the bill. So GOTS or fair trade or some of the language that was coming up. But guess what I found out about Cabby? Cabby like blew away all the standards that I had put together for my own checklist, kind of my standards. In fact, they actually have, there's just so many things about it that are so cool. But what they do is they actually require suppliers to follow a vendor code of conduct, and they must provide documentation review, access to facilities, records, workers. And they have, this is really cool, and you'll talk about this, but they have Cabby's Heart of Cabby Foundation, philanthropic, how do you say that?
Philanthropic.
Okay, philanthropic work, positive addition. So what's really cool is it's not just fair trade. Like they literally go above and beyond, and there's just so many cool things that they do. So what I think is so fascinating about this is that, and we'll talk about identity, when you think about showing up on camera, going to an in-person event, because we have our in-person coming up, a lot of women, they kind of shrink back, and they even as your body's changing, right? Maybe you have a mom bod now, maybe you have some menopause pounds, and you're trying to like fit into things that don't fit good anymore, and you just are really struggling with that. Do you think that you're going to go live? Do you think you're going to do the reel? Do you think you're going to go to the in-person? No, you're not. And we see this all the time with the women that we work with. The other thing, and she'll talk about Cabby, and I've noticed this for myself. I did this a couple years ago, but I started, instead of going to Shein or wherever, I was like Forever 21, all the places that I could still get away with. I started asking myself, as I was heading into mid 40s, does that represent the season of my life, the maturity, of being a mom and having kids that are getting older? And I was like, not really. So I started, before learning about Cabby, I started going to places that had a little bit more of a, I don't want to say old money feel, but more of a, what are they called in here? It was a perfect description. It was like low maintenance luxe or something, like where you're
low-key luxe, yeah.
Low-key luxe. That's what I was looking for, where I didn't want to look like, oh, I'm trying to go on a yacht. That's not the goal here.
Right.
But I wanted to look my age, and I wanted to feel like we were talking about the identity, and man, it changes everything. So talk to us about that when it comes to the identity piece and why you specifically are obsessed with Cabby. And by the way, if any of you want to get a complimentary consult with Cabby, just put consult below, and Allyson said that she would offer that to my audience. If you guys are listening on the podcast, I'll include, or YouTube, I'll include links so you can get in touch with her. And maybe some of you are even like, I would love to be an affiliate for them and get my clothing paid for. That's actually a newer option that they just released, and we'll talk about that. So let's talk about why you love Cabby. Like, why are you just like, this is the best thing ever?
Okay, well, I want to touch on, I'm going to back up just a little bit. So I want to touch on the fast fashion idea. So yes, Cabby is really amazing at all the standards that they set, that they require of the people that they work with, the vendors that they work with. They actually really try to work with small mom and pop vendors as well. That's a really big deal to them if they can. But the interesting thing, if you watch any of the documentaries about fast fashion, is not only is it an issue of how they pay their workers, what the working conditions are, but it's actually really scary when you see the amount of clothes that end up in landfills.
Or the ocean. Did you see that video?
It's
literally, they're just like right there on the bank.
Correct.
The ocean.
So this is the problem with fast fashion, and this is one of the reasons that I really love Cabby, among many, but this is one of the reasons. So fast fashion is exactly that. It's fast. They turn it out really quickly. They sell it for $10. You buy it. Maybe if you wear it once or twice, you're fine, because you're like, I only spent $10 on that. So what
if
am I
it doesn't fit? You don't even return it.
So you don't even return it. So you don't care. So you throw it into a donate bag. We're all guilty of it. We take it to the donation center. Guys, what you have to realize is most donation centers are truly overwhelmed with clothes.
Yes, they don't even put on the racks.
No. And so what happens is they need to get rid of those clothes, and those clothes end up in landfills. And you know how long it takes synthetic fabrics to like decompose? Yeah. It's not good. So the thing about, and what I wanted to touch on, how you said about the choose less, choose better.
Yes.
That's the thing that I love about Cabby, is not only is the quality higher, but it truly allows you to say, okay, I'm going to grab these 4 or 5 pieces because they are going to work with the wardrobe that I already have. And they're going to last for me for years and years and years to come, because they're high quality, they're classic fashion. You're kind of really, like you said, that low key luxe. You're really investing in something that's going to last you for a long time. I will tell you, and I see my friend Lori is on here watching us. She can probably add to this, but I still have clothes from when I sold Cabby back in 2017 and 2018 that I still wear to this day. So some of the things that Kimberly's seen me in person, they're things from years ago.
They're classic. They're timeless.
They are classic
Yeah.
and they're timeless. That's a great way to put it. So that is one thing I love about Cabbies. But I want to flip now and talk about their Heart of Cabby Foundation, because that is really incredible and something that a lot of people don't know about. So actually the top that I'm wearing, if you guys can see it, I'm trying to show it closely, but really pretty. It's in our catalog. You can see it online. It's beautiful. And yes, and Lori just pointed out another thing. When you go from collection to collection with Cabby, because they come out with 2 new collections a year, every year you've got things that can pair back to the collection before and the collection before that. So they always bring everything and carry it through.
So it's like building upon each other.
Correct. You're constantly building upon each other. So it's amazing. I know. So Cabby's been around for, I believe, 25 years. Lori can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think we're hitting 25 years in January. But this is the thing about the Heart of Cabby Foundation. So every time you make a purchase, you can decide to donate or round up to Heart of Cabby. And yes, Celia, you can go online and we can drop the link for that here as well.
Don't just go to Cabby. We'll hook you
don't
up.
just go to Cabby. Yeah, I'll get you a link.
And
then the Heart of Cabby, along with rounding up to every time you order, we also have one piece every collection that is called our Heart of Cabby piece. And that's what I'm wearing right now. So every time someone purchases this piece, they give back from the proceeds from this piece, go directly to our Heart of Cabby Foundation. So you're like, okay, Allyson, great. What does that do? Let me just read to you what they have done in the past 25 years, probably less, because I don't even know Heart of Cabby Foundation. I don't think they started it right in the beginning, but they have funded over 20,000 small business loans to female entrepreneurs. They have reached over 66 countries. They have empowered more than 87,000 students through educating them. And these are all in lower income countries. And they have given 70 million in clothing and donations. So Heart of Cabby really does. That's one of the things that I love about Cabby. They didn't just start to be a clothing company. They really started because they wanted to change women's lives in a positive way from every aspect. Exactly what Kimberly's talking about. CEO optimize. Let's optimize how you're living your life. And that's really what they are driven to do. So
that's amazing.
I think I covered everything you said. You asked me.
Yes. So I wasn't even looking at our notes anymore. So for the company, tell us about the company. Is it owned by a one woman? Is it owned by a private, is it privately owned? Because you all know I'm partnered with Shockley for Wellness. I am all about legacy companies that are going to stay the test of time, not the fast fashion. And you know what's really cool about all of this? We don't realize this, especially for those of you in first world countries like America. We have so much power in our decision making on the way this is going to go down for our planet and the economy and people being treated right by how we use our dollar. So I want you to imagine, instead of going to Shein and Amazon, really look at your order history and you probably want to vomit, because it's with that documentary they showed people are just it's like a dopamine hit, getting more, what's new, and it's just this whole thing that is not godly. It is not good. It's shifting to, what if you took those dollars and actually spent and invested in a company like Cabby, where you're choosing less but choosing better. However, you're actually getting more because you're going to have pieces that will go the distance, stand the test of time, that are well made, high quality. So you can just tell a difference when you get them. And by the way, I don't know what it is, but they just make you look better, especially the jeans. It's like magic.
The denim are ridiculously insane.
I know. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I just went down a size because they're just so flattering,
I know. Yeah,
but tell us about the legacy behind this. Okay. Is it, who started it? Tell us a little bit about that.
So Cabby was started by a woman. Her name is Carol Anderson, by her and another group of women. And they really wanted to create something that would change the way that women shop and how women work in the fashion industry. So Cabby stands for Carol Anderson by invitation. So initially, it was literally by invitation. They are headquartered out of California. We got acquired in 2017 by a private equity firm. So they are privately owned. They are not publicly traded. So the Cabby brand and the leadership team at Cabby really operate the business.
Okay. And then for okay, so starting that, I was going to ask you something else about start the company. I can't remember now. I'll think of it. So with something like the women in our audience, what
Mhm.
they're looking for, what's the biggest thing you've noticed when you've done a styling session? And I will say, you guys, I I'm in front of the camera a lot, and I found myself always buying new things because I felt like I couldn't wear the same thing, and it was a thing. And I really never really understood fashion. It's just I can, you guys have seen me, I look fine, but like it was never my thing. And when I did my call with you, you were like, okay, you need to get this many shirts. You gave me a plan, and I was like, and you explained we're layering, we're turning it into many different outfits, and
Mhm.
I just found that so helpful. But
Mhm.
also sizing recommendations for me and all that. So, what's the biggest thing you've noticed when you're doing styling sessions, especially with our audience,
Mhm.
that when they get their cabbie clothes, and maybe
Mhm.
we're specifically talking about cabbie, you guys, but I really want you to be thinking about conscious fashion,
Yeah.
doing business with good companies,
Yep.
checking those companies before you
Agreed.
order anything, but
Mhm.
also choosing less here, choosing better. Like, let's
Right.
all work together to
Yeah.
rein it in a little bit. But what's the coolest thing you've noticed, like helping somebody get started with cabbie and putting clothes on that actually feel good and helping them feel more confident?
I think what stands out for me is when that light bulb goes off of that, oh, I can take this piece and wear it all these different ways. Because think about it, most of the time you go shopping and you see a cute top or a cute pair of bottoms and you're like, oh, that's really cute. I'm just going to grab it. And then you go home and you're like, now what am I going to do with it?
Yeah,
Like, what
fun.
now? What? So I think showing women how you can take a top. I'm thinking we have the blue top you can see hanging there is called our Kick It shirt. It's like it reminds me of like a traditional blue Oxford, but it's like up to date. You can wear that alone, over things, under things, around your waist, over your shoulder. Like there's just so many things you can do with it. And women don't tend to think that way. They think very like almost like with blinders on, like, oh, I just see that cute dress. I'm just gonna do the dress. Like for example, we've had dresses in past seasons where we can show you how to wear that dress like three different ways. It's the same dress, but you can wear it as a top or as a jacket. You can shorten it. You can wear it longer. You can put something over it. Like it's just, those are the kind of things that I think really stand out to me when I'm working with women. And I think the other side that I want to touch on, because Kimberly and I actually talked about this when we were met the other day, I want women to get out of their heads about being a particular size. So
I
this
love
is
that.
we are so hooked on size, and the thing is that you want your clothes to fit how you like to wear them. So I may grab a pair of jeans and they're meant to be a skinny jean and I really want them to be fitted, so I may go down a size or two so I can get them fitted to how I want them to be. Kimberly could have the same pair of jeans and be like, yeah, I really like those, but I don't want them to be so fitted. I'd like them to be more relaxed. She can go up a size. Like this whole idea of being like a size,
So
like
true.
it's very true. And I get it. I get it. It's just how we've
But it's
kind of
kind
been
of like weighing
programmed.
yourself. I don't like that.
I know, but it's just that we've been programmed to it.
Yeah,
So
we
I
have been
think,
programmed.
yeah, I think
Mhm.
that's one of the things. I think the other thing that you mentioned, I I get this a lot from women. I just want to lose like 10 pounds till I get anything new. I just want to wait till this happens till I get it's always this like waiting game. You guys,
Mhm.
wear the clothes you have, like wear them now. Like wear the clothes for your body now. You're in the season you're in. Do we all go through those changes? Menopause gain. Maybe you're going through a season of health issues. And so you've lost weight or whatever it is. Get the clothes that are going to fit you now and make you feel good about yourself now. Because
Yes.
again, like we've said, Lori just said, dress well for the body you have today.
Yes.
So just like we said, clothes don't quote unquote make you confident, but they certainly make you feel a lot better when you're walking into a room or
Oh,
showing up on a Zoom
on a
or being
Zoomer.
on a live, whatever
Mhm.
that is.
Yeah. No, a lot of times people will think, I don't want to go and buy a bunch of new stuff now because what if I lose weight? I hear that all the time.
I do
So
too.
think about it. You'll see her do this. You guys go follow her on social. You can tuck stuff in. Like my daughters will wear my stuff and they're small, and they'll just tuck it in, put a belt on if it's a dress. Like, don't worry about that. And the likelihood of that happening very quickly, it's in our head. We are
Mhm.
waiting. You don't want to do that. And even if you want to think of it as collecting pieces. Like
Yeah.
she'll talk about getting started with it, getting some pieces in your wardrobe that are high quality, age appropriate, well made, and then you add to it as you go. So this isn't throwing your whole closet out. It's about getting some pieces in that you can work in and are timeless. So touch on, the decision fatigue is real. And that's another thing I'm learning as I'm diving into this. And we either that the essentialism book, he talks a lot about this, but we have stuff in our closet. We don't want to get rid of it because we might wear it one day, haven't worn it forever, or we don't know what to do with it. So we just leave it there. And then we have the stuff that we do want to wear, but then we stand in front of our closet and we're like, I have nothing to wear. So I know you have actually implemented a strategy for your wardrobe where that's not a decision you have to worry about every day. Can you share with them what that looks like for you?
Well, be honest, Cabby makes it a lot easier. Let's be real. Like if you were to walk into my closet today, because I've been buying Cabby now for probably almost 15 years, probably.
Right?
Yeah, since I first started buying it, it makes it a lot easier because as I said earlier, they will carry things over so that you can build upon pieces from season to season. So it definitely makes it easier. I think my biggest thing that I try to tell women is that find a cute pair of jeans or pants, find a cute top, and then all you need to do is throw on a belt, tuck in a side, put on a cute pair of shoes, throw on a necklace or a bracelet, and you're good to go. Like it doesn't have to be this big whole thing.
You're so good at that.
Yeah, but it's just practice, right?
Yeah.
It's just practice of doing it. And that's really all it is. It's just saying to myself, okay, what can I just add to this? Like putting on a belt. Like today, I put on a bracelet, I have on a necklace. That's and this cute top and a pair of cute denim, and I'm good to go. You can change it up with your shoes. Your shoes can totally change a whole outfit. And I was just sharing this with a client. And also I want to say is, as we're talking about this, I had a client say to me recently, these are investment pieces. And that is exactly it. They are investment
I'm looking
pieces.
at it. Yes.
You're gonna have them for a very long time. And I was showing a client the other day, I showed her 4 pairs of shoes that she could use to change out an entire outfit. One was a sneaker. Guys, sneakers, you can wear them with dresses right now. Throw on a pair of sneakers. Cute little kitten heel, super easy. Kitten heels will go with everything. Pair of loafers. And by the way, all of these you can find inexpensively. Don't have to go crazy. You could buy a higher quality. I wouldn't be against that because it's also that idea of it. That you'll have it forever because these are shoes you're going to have forever. And then finally, the last one is a cute pair of Mary Janes. They're totally back in style right now and super cute. And they go with everything from a dress to pants to a skirt, whatever. So it's just, I think, getting used to, I will just say, follow my social media. I do a lot of tips. I do a lot of styling tips. Yeah. I show you how to wear things differently. Simple things like, how do you roll your sleeves up so they look nice and they stay? How many of you guys roll a sleeve and it falls and you roll it back up and it falls down? There's a way to do that where it won't fall down. So it's just little things like that.
That's awesome. So if any of you are thinking, okay, I do want to start incorporating some pieces in, like I said, Allyson will do a consult. We'll include a link below. Now, I know for a long time, all you could basically do was do the in-person stylist, part of it, which is how it started. And as the pandemic and everything, a lot of people got away from, living room locals. Right. So there's a new program that they released. I'd love for you to talk about that because ladies, when we're working on your content pillars, I always find that if somebody's into wellness, beauty, fashion, like if you love like jewelry and all that stuff, this may be something for you to consider because it gives you content ideas. It gives you stuff to share. But then if people want to know more, they can click through and purchase or have a chat with you. I would love for you guys to consider this for your brands. Multiple streams of income is where it's at. And the very least, I would love for you to get your Cabby purchases paid for, okay, at a minimum. So talk to them about the new program they have. Wear and share.
Okay, so this is really what kind of brought me back. Although I have been thinking about it. Like I told Lori, I said,
goal digger.
When Lori reached out to me, I'm like, it's so funny because the last order I got from her, I remember opening it up and saying, I wish I could just share this on social media. I would totally do this, like just because I love the clothes. And she reached out to me in January and she's like, hey, she was so cute. She's like, I know you're probably not interested, but we have this new program. I literally read through it and I was like, yes. I'm like, oh my gosh. So, right. Thank you.
So and then you told me about it and I said, yes, sign me up. Like, it's a no-brainer. Like I have to do this.
Yeah. So the way that it works, so traditionally with Cabby, back when I was a stylist before, I was called a signature stylist, and you had a whole collection and you did what I would say belly to belly home shows. People come to you, you go to them. It was all very face to face. And then we went through the pandemic and everyone had to change things. And so Cabby did as well. And they came up with this amazing idea. Thank you, Lori. They came up with this amazing idea to do what we're calling wear and share. So think of it as being affiliated with Cabby. You get to choose 21 pieces of your choosing from the current collection, which is what Kimberly was saying when she picked out her pieces. We were talking about how do we mix and match that. And that is one of the things that we would support you with, is we want to make sure that these 21 pieces are something that you can use in your closet existing to mix and match, to show how it works together, all of those great things. And then you share on your social media, put it out on social, share it with your friends when you go out, wear it when you go out with the girls, wear it to church, wear it to your Bible study, wear it out on date nights with your husband. And the minute someone says to you, that is so cute, you go, like I would do to Kimberly, it's Cabby, but that's
always, every time.
But that's essentially, they wanted to have an easy way for women who really wanted to be able to be a part of Cabby, but they're working a full-time job, or they've already got their like main business going. How can I be a part of Cabby, have the clothes to look and feel good, and be able to share them with other women that I will help them as well to just kind of level up a little bit. So that's what Wear and Share is all about. It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. If any of you are like, that sounds really cool, I would love to be able to participate in that, you can just put Cabby below. CABI, put Cabby below. It's okay. Trust me. My children are not home from school yet, and I kicked Roxy out and put her in her kennel. She goes crazy when anything happens. So I'm like, you can't stay in here right now. Except for usually when I'm on Zooms all day, she just starts snoring. So I don't know if I'm boring. So just put Cabby in the comments, CABI, if you're live on social. If you're watching on YouTube, podcast, any of that, we will include a link below. And then what I want you to do though, if you're like, I want to talk to Allyson, I want to talk to Kimberly, send me a DM. So you can find me at CEO Optimized on Instagram, or the Gold Digger Girl on Instagram, Allyson Mancini. You can see it on the screen. If you type that in, just reach out and just say, hey, I heard the podcast interview. Would love to know more about this, being a stylist, the Wear and Share program, or even ordering. We can absolutely get you set up. And I'm not the style expert. She's my person that will help you guys, because it's not my specialty. I just tell Allyson I need more clothes, and
you look amazing every single time.
I mean, I do get a lot of compliments on all my Cabby stuff.
Always.
So and it's so cute, because Addison, middle school, she's like the fashion police. She's like, Mom, where'd you get that? And I'm like, Cabby. And she's like, I knew it. Like, she's like, hair toss, Cabby. So cute.
I do want to say one more quick thing. I know we're coming up to the end of our time, but I just wanted to share as well, because you made a comment earlier about, this is really about stepping into the season that you are in life. I also want to say an encouragement to all of you that are hearing this. My 27-year-old daughter, who is 5 feet 1 inch tall.
Tiny.
She's tiny. She's a little thing. And Cabby now, this is so exciting for us. All of our denim comes in short, regular, and long lengths. So we got her a pair of the denim. They look adorable on her. And for a 5'1" cute little body, they're just so adorable. So I also want you guys to look at Cabby, just like you said, how your daughter's like, that's so cute. We have pieces for all ages and stages.
Yes. And what are the sizes? Tell them the size.
Okay, so this is the other great thing. Sizes go from a 00, double extra small, all the way up to 20 and that's double amazing. X. So and then short, regular, and long on all of our denim pieces, which we have 13 denim pieces this season, because as Kimberly said earlier, our denim, it's like butter. I don't know how else to describe it.
The sisterhood of the traveling pants. It's that. You put them on and you're just like, this fits perfect. It's amazing. Incredible. Yeah. Yay. Thank you so much. Well, this was awesome. For having me. Lori, thanks for supporting us in the chat.
Yes,
we appreciate the love there. Celia, I'll connect with you on this as well. And again, look us up on social. Come send us a DM. We'd love to talk to you more about this. But let's commit to conscious fashion. Let's commit to choosing less, but choosing better in everything that we do, that we get to find contentment with less, wanting more of what we have, and making those good decisions that do have that ripple effect on other humans, and ultimately the planet as well. So appreciate you guys tuning in to CEO Optimize. Thank you so much. And Allyson, thank you for being my first interview.
Thank you. I'm totally honored.
Yay. All right, guys, have a good day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.